Greetings. I'm Professor Beck Strah.
And I'm Professor Eric Bronson. And this is Prison News.
It's the news. Put on your new shoes, 'cause it's time to get up off your chair and hear the news without a care. Said it's the news. Wash away your blues, 'cause it's the prison news.
This just in. Ahoy, dudes. Welcome back to another episode of Prison Breakdown. Joining me today are producer Britt and Dr. Eric Bronson. How are you two, my friends?
Ahoy.
Howdy,
Ahoy,
howdy,
ahoy.
howdy.
Doing good.
Doing swell.
Speaking of swell, I see Eric here is looking swole after his trip. Eric,
Yeah.
You just got back from a trip. Where did you go?
Multiple trips. So
Multiple.
The longer trip was a trip to our favorite place, our favorite state to mock.
What's that?
Oh, no. Never mock. This is
Not
the official
never mock?
state of the podcast.
Oh, okay. No. We like to mock it. My home state of Ohio. Yeah. I took a little trip home. Went to go see my parents and my sister and her family. I had a good trip running out there and coming back. And then this morning, and drove up to Maine to see my niece and spend some time with the family. So ran up to Maine and back. That's the glory of being up in New England, is we can switch 4 states in a matter of hours and then come right back. So it was a lovely trip. And then I get back here, and then my significantly better half takes off and goes to Texas. And so, as soon as I return, she's like, I gotta get the hell out of here. Eric's back.
Yeah. What's that smell?
Yeah.
From Ohio with him?
Yeah, exactly. What's that Lake Erie? Were you swimming? Yeah.
Yeah, Eric, you talk about the beauty of New England, but I would like to keep this fair and balanced. What's the beauty of Ohio?
We're going fair and balanced?
Yeah, we're fair. We're balanced.
Okay. So
You're not answering what the beauty of Ohio is, though.
The beauty of Ohio. Well, I tell you what, there was a lot of beauty. While in Medina, which is one of the more distant suburban areas of Cleveland, because Cleveland rocks. We were at my sister's house, and in the backyard there were all these deer that just came up, and they are there routinely, daily. They show up, they eat, right behind their house, and they had this big wide open field in their backyard, and it's that is gorgeous. There are some really pretty parts of Ohio. It's just not, the attitude of the people. It's kind of brutal.
So, well, thank you for sharing the Ohio report.
Yeah, absolutely. Isn't that supposed to happen every time we say that state?
I'd like it if it did, but
for several episodes. I mean, it was.
Do you want me to? I don't usually do it every time, because especially if we're talking about an Ohio news article, like it's just like, I don't know, Ohio, and like
I think
20 seconds later,
it,
Ohio. I don't know. It's like it kind of kills the joke, in my opinion. I feel like playing it once per episode, or maybe once per like article. Like if it comes up again in the podcast, I do it again. But like in the same sentence,
All right.
I'm kind of opposed to using sound effects that much. It makes for an annoying podcast, I think.
Well,
I don't want to sound like Opie and Anthony, or like Bob and Tom, or just like stuff constantly. Like, boy,
the state doesn't
like,
have much going for it.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, what are we if not an annoying podcast? But you did name more annoying podcasts than us, so you are. I stand corrected.
Right.
There definitely are more annoying podcasts. Don't sell us short. Remember, according to FeedSpot Podcasts, we are one of the top 45 prison podcasts in the world there. So don't sell us short. And we need to have these annoying little sounds to keep us going.
That's our edge. And I can tell you, we are less annoying than the Prison Officer Podcast, the number 18th podcast on the list. Dude, we're much less annoying than these guys, the jokers.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, speaking of states, do we have any sound effects for the state of New Mexico?
None. I don't think any exist. What would we use?
Okay, I'm just bringing that up because my contribution to the news comes to us from New Mexico, and you want to talk about a gorgeous state? That is you get up into those mountains, it is gorgeous. I love that place. So, are we ready to get to a little bit of news?
I would love nothing more.
All right. So, we're out in New Mexico, and we have a horrible topic, and coming to us from the Santa Fe New Mexican, guards who rape inmates in New Mexico women's prisons get lenient sentences, records show. So, awful topic and even worse outcomes for the justice that is handed out. But guards at Western New Mexico State Correctional Facility who sexually assaulted inmates have repeatedly received lenient plea deals. Typically, probation and a probation sentence of 2 to 3 years. Conditional discharges, no jail time, no prison time, and one that I think is really important is they do not have to register on the sex offender registry unless their probation is violated in that 2 to 3 year period.
Unless they get another job as a CO and sexually assault other inmates using their power.
Well,
so
that's I don't know about that.
I mean, we've discussed, offender registries on here and their lack of
don't really work, right?
Yeah, how much they contribute to anything, in terms of recidivism.
I feel like definitely for people in power, though, we should hold them accountable in some kind of way and catalog people who do this, and make sure they can't be put in that. Yeah, can't be put in that position of power again. I don't.
Right.
Yeah. So otherwise, these fools end up getting shuffled around like the Catholic priests. It makes no sense.
Right.
Put them on blast.
5 former employees pleaded guilty since 2022. 4 pleaded to rape, but received 3-year probation and conditional discharges.
What?
1, yes.
What?
It's
3 years probation for sexual assault.
Right.
2. I mean, maybe there's 3 different justice systems, one for the rich, one for the poor, and then one for cops too, I guess.
One for the powerful, those in power, positions of power that use it to. Anyways, example here is Elijah Williams, a correctional officer. He pleaded guilty to sexual contact and got 2 years probation. Just 2 years probation. So, I mean, think about it. He only has to behave for 2 years.
It's a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. So, Robert Smith, correctional officer, admitted to rape and was pleading guilty to 3rd-degree sexual penetration, 3 years probation, and conditional discharge.
I'm sorry. He was charged with 3rd-degree sexual penetration.
That's right.
That's what it's called.
Was that?
Yes.
That's a really bad euphemism for rape, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and to get 3 years probation for that. So Dale Clemens, another correctional officer, pleaded a 3rd degree sexual penetration as well. Owen Etzity, same thing. George Gonzalez, same thing in terms of pleading guilty to the 3rd degree sexual penetration, got 3 years probation, conditional discharge, alleged repeated assaults, drugging, and profiteering.
Jesus Christ! Like what will stop? And what was the sentence? What will stop these people?
3. I mean, that was 3 years probation was the sentence for George Gonzalez. So several victims have filed civil lawsuits alleging the Department of Corrections actions and inactions allowed abuse, punished victims, and failed to protect inmates. The New Mexican newspaper does not name the victims. Prosecutors defended the plea deals, saying victims often preferred not to testify and supported resolutions that advance civil claims. They stress plea agreements are common and sometimes necessary. The DA emphasized accepting guilty pleas, not no contest. All right, so the DA refused to accept the no contest plea, but argued that the guilty pleas was allowed to aid in civil cases. All right, so they could be used by the victims in the future. The victims' attorneys dispute that victims supported the deals, argue the pleas minimize the abuse and ignore power dynamics. Prisoners cannot consent, right? And say never. Victims, right? Exactly. Again, another problem with positions of power, right? And some say, some victims were not notified or opposed conditional discharges. They call for better screening, supervision, and fixing surveillance blind spots in the facility. That's just not, you can't have cameras in cells. You can't have cameras everywhere. That's not the issue. It's, the screening. The screening's the issue. We got to find better people to work in these, and that begins with screening, training, and better pay. And obviously, yeah, it's
very much better people. Let me interrupt for just a moment. You will find conservative screaming, "What about the victims?" Often, it's what about the victims? But if the victim is an incarcerated person, no, that's an exception. We can't come to their defense. They did something wrong. They've wronged society. So their victimhood, too often the line will be like, oh, well, don't go to prison. But that's right. It's so inexcusable.
Yeah. It's victim blaming is really what it is. It's awful.
Yeah, there's nobody coming to their defense here except for the Prison Breakdown podcast. And we support you, victims, and we're sorry this happened to you.
Right. Well, and the New Mexico Department of Corrections declined specific comment and said that was due to litigation. Now, they did state that reviews, they review security protocol, policy, and seek to strengthen safety and accountability. And that is the awful story in the news coming out of New Mexico.
Bummer.
Yeah, there's a feel bad story.
Can I lighten the mood a little bit with a short article here?
Yes.
All right. So this one comes out of Arcata, California. Headline is From Prison to Commencement, College Graduate Rewrites His Future Through Education. From maximum security prison to a college commencement stage, one California man is rewriting his future through education. For 10 years, Arthur Monarch lived behind bars, serving time at Pelican Bay State Prison. Now he has become the first graduate of Cal Poly Humboldt's groundbreaking prison bachelor's degree program. It's one of the first programs of its kind offered inside a maximum security prison in the state. Monarch said, quote, I never really pictured and never really cared when I was younger. Then I got into trouble and went to prison. I did my time. I wish I could change it, of course, but doing my time, I found education, which changed my life, unquote. Growing up surrounded by gang culture, Monarch says he never cared much about school until prison changed his perspective. Now he's preparing for a future he once never imagined. Saying, quote, finding new things that opened my mind, it just kept me pushing and kept me going, unquote. Monarch says education gave him a purpose, and he plans to become a teacher. His next step is to pursue a master's degree in communication at Wake Forest University, where he was offered a full-ride scholarship. He hopes his story inspires others facing difficult circumstances. Saying, quote, honestly, anybody from their past, their backgrounds, wherever they came from, education is the way, man. Education is the opportunities, and it creates many doors. He continued saying, I'm not the only one. There's 27 individuals I was incarcerated with, and they're all great minds, great people. If they ever get the opportunity to come out, they're going to do great things, just like I am, he said, unquote. Monarch's advisor, a Cal Poly Humboldt communication professor, said the program has had a major impact on the students who participated. Saying, quote, we provide the exact same curriculum that we offer here in Arcata to students at the highest security level yard in the state of California. So many of our students are long-serving sentences. Many of them are life without parole, and they're also phenomenal intellectuals, unquote. For Monarch, his graduation is more than a diploma. Saying, quote, personally, it means a lot to me because I didn't believe that I would be standing here today, unquote. Cal Poly Humboldt says its Pelican Bay program has become a national model for prison education. The hope is to expand opportunities for incarcerated students across the state.
That is extremely rad. That we finally have a feel-good story, and I like a feel-good story. Hey, you know who else would support this feel-good story?
Who's that?
Roger Williams University School of Justice Studies. And
They certainly would.
Our extension school out of Roger Williams University actually has a program where we teach in the prisons, and several of us from the university engage in that program. And we get to the prisons, we work with real incarcerated people, and we try to give them some skills that they can use in their life outside once they're released.
You know, we should take that opportunity to give a shout out to Roger Williams School of Justice Studies.
Absolutely.
With such amazing degree offerings as forensic science, anthropology, international relations, sociology, political science, legal studies, public administration. And of course, we got the big boys over at criminal justice. Hey,
hell yeah. Represent.
On God, we got leadership.
From the last time we did news, I talked about how it was the Ricola instrument. I've since found out what this is called. It is called an Alphorn. Listener, you're welcome. That instrument from Ricola commercials 20 years ago, if you were wondering. Alphorn.
That's the real news.
That is real news.
Let me hit you with a smaller news story that is still of significance. This comes from the Prison Journalism Project and author Jeffrey Shockley, who is currently incarcerated at State Correctional Institution Mercer in Pennsylvania. So earlier this year, the Pennsylvania Department of Corrections made changes to the toilets at State Correctional Institution Mercer so that inmates can only flush their toilet every 5 minutes.
What?
And if you try to flush the toilet again in that time frame, the system puts this red light on your unit and makes it so you can't flush your toilet for an hour.
What if
this is significant?
What if you take a 2-flusher? Like, we've all taken a 2-flusher before, you know what I mean?
I don't. What do you
gotta
mean?
wait. Gotta be patient.
I'm talking just like, you know, you eat like a
no.
The
podcast does not need this.
This has become a totally new podcast.
Let me reframe this.
Sponsored by Stanley
and Dude Wipes
for all your plumbing needs.
Let me reframe this. Have you ever been to Taco Bell?
I love Taco Bell. You keep its name out of your mouth. For anyone who has ever been in a prison and walked a prison unit, you hear flushing toilets constantly. And it's one of those things where if a person is using the toilet, they will often flush multiple times while they are pooping because it is a courtesy to whoever their cellmate is and keeps some of the gases out of the room, right? That's what it's there for. But this makes it so you can't do that. And furthermore, inmates say the volume of the water and water pressure have also been reduced in the toilets, which has led to persistent odors, ammonia buildup, and more insect presence. One incarcerated man said he had to use a cereal bag full of water added to the toilet just to get waste to flush. And another guy described pushing poop down the toilet with his bare hands when it wouldn't go in flushing. It's disgusting. I'm not doing this story as a gross out, but it is actually an issue for some
and
people.
you were concerned that I was going to say something gross on the podcast. Come on, brother. Come on.
One problem with this cost-saving measure is that a virus recently took over the unit, leaving inmates ill with vomiting, diarrhea, and body aches. And one guy and his cellmate both had diarrhea. And so they flushed once and they couldn't flush a second time before this 5-minute timer is up.
God.
So it's like a guy throwing up on top of diarrhea in the toilet. Yes.
That's got to be a pleasant smell.
I shut it down because I wanted to reserve all the grossness for myself, but it is graphically gross what the actual effects are.
Wow, how selfish of you.
I know.
Let me talk about the two flushers. All right, here we go.
And so this is similar to a measure taken last year in Washington State, where the DOC limited flushes to you can only flush 3 times every 5 minutes, which is fairer. And it is a move that's intended to reduce water use and prevent the flushing of items like blankets and clothing. People will sometimes try to flood their cells by stuffing blankets into the toilet and flush, the water all over the floor. I saw several people try to do this during my time as a corrections officer. It's very annoying more than anything. But it is gross, and especially when a lot of inmates, especially like the inmates in this institution in Pennsylvania, many of them have to consume their meals in their cells. That's incredibly gross.
Oh no! Yeah,
especially if you're waiting for this hour timer to be up, so that you can eat without having to smell you or your cellmates waste.
Right,
disgusting.
Very gross.
Yeah. So
this
that's
part of the podcast brought to you by Corky 99-4A Max Performance Plunger for all your plunging needs.
Yeah, this part of the podcast is brought to you by
There we go.
Yeah. We'll get the competitors in there.
Yeah, for all those shit criminal justice programs out there in the
country. Your words, not mine. I did not say that about them.
Yeah, wherever you can go get your true crime degree rather than real criminal justice that based on science. We do freak out science here.
Well, that's absolutely disgusting.
Team.
Why would you do that to us?
Well, because it is important prison news. It is like more micro prison news, and I think that is also very important from a human rights perspective.
Yeah, definitely.
You're not wrong. I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
We stand up for the little guy here on the pod, and we want you to know that.
Why don't you tell them about your nickname in elementary school having to do with toilets?
Oh boy!
Oh yeah, there was this guy who had big scary eyebrows. His name is Leif, and he called me Flush because I wouldn't flush a toilet. I wouldn't flush the urinal because the noise like scared me when I was in 3rd grade. And so one day, Leif. I'm at the urinal and I'm about to leave, and Leif comes strolling into the bathroom, and he's like got a pair of those like safety scissors in his hands, and he threatens me with them. He's like, "Flush it, do it. Flush the toilet. And he made me flush the toilet. And I told the teacher, I think he got in trouble. We'll never know. No idea what happened to that guy. But it was, it was the first time I'd ever been threatened.
Uh-huh.
And Flush is a nickname. It was like a nickname from one guy that nobody ever else knew about until now. So podcast, there you go. There's my third grade nickname from a creep who threatens kids with scissors.
Thank you for that.
Leif, if you're out there, I hope that I hope you're not threatening kids anymore.
Yeah. I like to imagine him in the prison shower being like, flush. Holding a shiv, like a safety shiv.
Yeah. Nothing can stop that guy. It really unexpected for me at such a formative age to have to face a vigilante.
Yeah, a toilet vigilante. It's like the guy on YouTube who like makes people put that back their shopping carts.
Exactly.
That same energy. That same energy. Like it's like chaotic evil, I think, is his alignment. Or not chaotic, lawful evil. Lawful evil. Yeah, there you go.
Lawful evil.
That's
what Leif is. Leif, if you're out there, contact the pod.
You know what?
We'll have you on and talk about your prison experience.
99% certainty he's either a cop or a corrections officer now.
Yeah. or an inmate somewhere. He's one of the three.
Yeah. The three paths for a guy who threatens kid with scissors to flush the toilet.
Oh, yeah. This was another kid, by the way, dear listener. This was not an adult. This was an upperclassman.
I was going to say older than you.
Fifth grade.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we got any more to say about the news?
Nah.
That's it for the news.
All right.
Cut it.
If you like this podcast,
give us 5 stars. Subscribe.
And
tell us how much you like us. We all need approval sometimes, and
we need validation.
This is one of those times.
Review the podcast, please, for our validation. We would really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And with that said, let's call it a day. Lights out, gang.
Lights out.
Lights out.